Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse podcast. This is episode number 481. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today, we've got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hi.
All right. This week on the show, we'll be looking at two movies. We got Paul Schrader's Master Gardener. We got Kelly Reichardt's Showing Up. We'll also be going over something we're watching on the watch list and new releases in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us this week. If you could, give us a review on iTunes, that'd be great. New Saved by the 90s is being recorded this week. I'll go ahead and tell you the theme. It's Kurt Russell movies, so very excited for that. I used to be obsessed with Kurt Russell when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I loved Kurt Russell, man.
Russell.
I loved Kurt Russell, and I loved Kevin Bacon.
Kurt Russell, Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
Were they ever in a movie together in the 90s?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't recall any crossover, but I'm sure that they can be connected in some way.
I feel like you should know this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
lost.
I don't know. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on when that's going to be up. Let's talk about which one do you want to start with?
Let's do Master Gardener.
All right, so we're looking at Master Gardener. This is the new one from Paul Schrader. I have a synopsis here. Narvel Roth is a meticulous horticulturalist who is devoted to tending the grounds of a beautiful estate and pandering to his employer, the wealthy dowager Mrs. Haverhill. That first sentence makes this movie sound so dry. It makes it sound like some kind of boring ass like British a teleplay or something.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's BBC teleplay.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Masterpiece theater type shit. When she demands that he take on her wayward and troubled great niece, it unlocks dark secrets from a buried, violent past.
Oh boy,
That's what sets it apart from the masterpiece, the PBS special there. So I feel like this is like your week for movies, really. You got a movie about a horticulturalist, and then you got a movie about an artist. These are like your two big hobbies, right? These are like your your main interests.
Pretty much. It is kind of wild.
It's like gardening and art.
Gardening and art. And even more so, it's like he's at, I can't remember what the name of the gardens that he was working at. But
I can't remember either. It's like something Hill or...
So yeah, it was something Wood, I think. Because I was like, it sounds like he's completely going for Longwood Gardens. I can't remember what it was though. But that's like one of my favorite things to do is go to Longwood Gardens.
Pinewood? Springwood? I don't know. At any rate, what were your initial impressions of Master Gardener?
Oh man, this thing starts off, and I really didn't know anything about this movie going into it.
To be clear, like I didn't know anything either. Like I went in completely cold on this.
And the title and the poster, and I was like, well, it looks like he's dealing with flowers. Like Master Gardener isn't some like euphemism type thing or metaphor.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of. But there was going to be flowers, and bam, there was flowers right off the bat. And I'm just like, hell yeah, this is me. This is what I love. And the funny thing is at one point he's talking about having to deal with some aphids and getting a mixture of like neem oil.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've been doing the last couple weeks.
Oh,
I got
boy.
an outbreak of aphids, just going fucking nuts.
Got those like black spots.
Oh my goodness, my burning bush is just covered in disgusting. And my honeysuckle's got it. Everything's got it. Neem oil like crazy, but you got to be careful about the temperature. Can't be too hot outside with that neem oil. Just cook it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he takes his shirt off, and I was like, oh, fuck this movie. I don't care.
It's definitely... So this happens, I think, exactly 21 minutes into the movie, because I was watching the movie, and at the 20-minute mark, I messaged you as I was watching it, and I'm like, man, I am loving this movie. And then 1 minute later... a big thing is revealed, and I was just like, whoa, okay, now this movie has a completely different, everything is different now. Everything in this movie has changed, and it's it was a surprise. It was definitely a kind of a shock for me.
Yeah, I mean, I had an inkling because of the haircut.
Well,
That haircut just always leads me to believe something, and I
yeah,
was right.
yeah. I kind of thought like he was just maybe on the spectrum or something, and like just kind of an eccentric guy that maybe did have something happening with him in his past or something, because it did seem like he had some kind of a checkered past, or like some kind of secret. But yeah, man, when they do that big reveal, I was like, I just was not prepared for that.
No, and I think the thing for me is the writing from there on out is just so terrible. It's just really bad.
I didn't
So much of this doesn't make sense. Like, why did you decide, like, oh, I'm gonna write my diary real quick, just gonna pop my shirt? Like, it's such a ridiculous way of like escalating the conflict, or initiating the conflict in this movie.
I guess it was him looking at himself in the mirror, because that's when like the great, or the grandniece was there, and I guess he started having feelings for her, and I think that's when he took his shirt off and revealed it. And I think that he was like looking at himself in the mirror and kind of reminding himself of his past. And I agree with you that I wouldn't say the dialogue or the writing is bad. I think that it seems to be kind of in line for like Schrader's style of dialogue, which is not always natural. It will often feel kind of stilted and not necessarily realistic. But I don't necessarily mind that. I will say that it did lose me a little bit as it progressed, but I still, and this is something that happens with a lot of Paul Schrader movies, is that there is always a point where things change in his movies and there's like a big turn, and usually it's so drastic that it will immediately lose people. But like for me, I still think that he's an amazing director, and I was still on board with this for the most part, all the way through.
No, it lost me big.
I
Necessarily the point that I was saying, I was kind of exaggerating there, but then his decision to pop the shirt off while he's writing in his diary. He's like, let me go ahead and pop this off real quick before I start writing about bushes and shrubs, etc. And then, of course, that initiates the conflict that we have here, which is ridiculously kind of cleared up by her just kind of like popping into the room and be like,
that was too, dude.
It's just like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
That was a little too much. That felt, I don't know how, like that almost felt like Schrader just being kind of a perv, really.
Yeah,
like it didn't feel right how she came to terms with it. Barely really not a conversation to be had about it.
No.
There was an attempt at a conversation, but it didn't really go anywhere. And I feel like she was way too accepting of it. And I also love, and this is a minor spoiler, so maybe just like mute for like 30 seconds or even 20 seconds. But the line that he says when he's talking to Sigourney Weaver at the end, and he goes, we will live, what did he say? Like, we will live in the guest house as husband and wife. And I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. I mean, between that, I mean, their whole relationship and how that's like just kind of glossed over after she's so, rightfully incensed. Like, she's like emotionally distraught, rightly so.
She is.
And then she's just like, oh, let's move on.
I mean, at first, she's met with violent anger at him. Like she throws that cup in the diner, and she's reacting how most people would react. But then, yeah, her decision to just be like, you know what, I love this guy. What she didn't ask him was, so what are your what are your beliefs now? You know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, how does she know that he's not still like that?
Yeah, it's just it's Paul Schrader being way out of his depth here. Just tackling something probably shouldn't be tackling because
Yeah.
he's just like, she gets over it, and now
She'll
they're
get
overnight.
she'll get it. Time for them
And
to
then
do
and
it.
then of course he has that violent past or whatever, which of course they make that he makes it into this like, you know, stoic, like uber hitman type shit that every movie has to have for some reason now. And the fucking part of it that irritates me even more is that like part of his redemption arc is getting to tap into that again to go after some drug dealers. Like
Yep.
this whole movie is just straight trash. Trash.
I
Looks
wouldn't.
nice. It looks great. The directing's great, but everything else is just trash.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't call it trash. I think I enjoyed it overall. I think despite the kind of strange choices made with it, but I'm kind of a Schrader fanboy. I think I forgive him a lot more than other people,
But
other directors who make the same mistakes.
I don't think you're not alone. I see a lot of Schrader apology. And I love that there's like that slow mo montage of like two guys just completely fucking those gardens up. And I'm just like, how do two dudes gardens that much before anyone does anything?
How did
Like, that's
how did
kinda
they
nuts.
know? Did they know through the 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 niece
I
what
guess.
garden he worked at?
But it is funny, like they probably had to stop off at Home Depot before they went, right?
Likely,
They
unless they took the tools from the shed.
not from the
Which,
shed.
by the way, I thought about this too. Like, this is like this is a high end garden, right? Like,
Mhm.
this is a super nice garden. Rare plants,
Oh yeah.
meticulously manicured, all this stuff. When you see their little shed, they got the oldest tools. Shit looks like it was from the 1800s, and they had like one shovel and like two hoes, and it's like, what? That's all you're working with, huh? Like, maybe get some new tools, man. Make
Yeah.
your lives a little bit easier.
Yeah. They definitely gotta upgrade them. Upgrade that shit. The other thing and this is something that happens occasionally in movies with plants. Like these guys would just be like pop a plant out, like in the little potting soil, and they'll just dump it in the ground. It's like you got to rip them roots up a little bit. You can't just pack it in there like that. Come on,
Shh. Do your homework,
master
guys.
gardener, master gardener, my ass, Norval, fucking Norval.
Narvel Roth. Great performance by Joel Edgerton, though. I will say that.
I did enjoy him.
He was really good in this. I allow myself one per day.
I do like that. There's both of the movies that we're going to talk about have the same pose from the lead. One's wearing an
Yeah.
apron, one's wearing overalls, but they do the old hands behind the apron top.
Mm-hmm.
Both got it.
All right, so that's Master Gardener. That's available on VOD right now. Let's go ahead and give it a score. For me, I'm at like a five. I'm at like a 5.5, somewhere there for me.
All right, I'm at a 2.
2. Kevin
Two.
says avoid. The nice, pretty flowers are not enough to save this one.
No, not at all. Fuck off, Narwhal.
You did not like the the card counter either, if I remember correctly.
No, but I like the card counter more than this. Card counter was okay, but it just felt like a steep drop off from First Reformed.
Yeah. Well, I would say definitely on both accounts. All right, let's move on and talk about Showing Up. This is directed by Kelly Reichardt. I have a synopsis here. An artist on the verge of a career-changing exhibition navigates family, friends, and colleagues in the lead up to her show and finds that the chaos of life becomes the inspiration for more great art. Now, Michelle Williams stars in this, and she's a sculptor. That's not your preferred medium, Kevin, but regardless, we'll start it with you. What were your initial impressions of Showing Up?
Showing Up. I love these types. Just low stakes.
Just slice of life. Just living life, man.
Yeah. And it's shot wonderfully. Looks great. The soundtrack is great. Andre Benjamin's just doing his flute thing.
Doing a little flute action.
Killing it with the flute. Especially at the end. That sequence with like all the power lines and he's doing his flute thing.
Oh yeah.
Killed it.
Fluting it up.
Yeah. I don't this is just such a nice like Sunday afternoon movie for me.
It's kind of funny because I agree. I enjoyed this quite a bit as well. And I was thinking about it, and like, this is a movie that I enjoyed so much, and it brought me happiness, which is kind of funny because the movie itself, I think, is not very happy at all. Like, I feel like it's for the most part, it's kind of a depressing experience, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It's like one of those kind of very slight movies that just washes over you, and you come into the lives of these people, and all of the characters feel incredibly fleshed out, and you spend this this very small moment of these people's lives with them, and then you just leave, and it was just like this kind of very fleeting experience that you have with these people, like a little doorway into their lives. And I just enjoyed it so much, even though I will say, like, I didn't think that Michelle Williams' character was a particularly likable or relatable in any way, but I still enjoyed the movie quite a bit. I liked all of the pigeon stuff and like all of that. I just thought was great.
Yeah, and I think, like, I could see her not being likable, but at the same time, I think if I didn't have hot water for that long,
I'd be yeah. It's easy. Yeah, it's easy to forget about the hot water thing, and just think about how frustrated you'd be all the time. Like, you would be in a permanent state of just on edge.
Yeah,
because you can't shower.
No, because that's the great reset in life, right?
Exactly.
A nice warm shower.
Just wash it all away. Away. Start fresh.
Boom. Instantly refilled, re-energized, ready to go. Kind of just resets you completely.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't get that.
She doesn't get it, but I still didn't like her. John Majero's in this. He's great. He plays I would say, slightly unhinged brother.
Slightly. He has 6 holes in his back.
That's true. Digging holes. What are you doing? What's it look like?
Digging holes.
Just digging holes. Yeah, it is kind of weird. Like, you see a grown man. Like, you're a child. Digging holes is expected. You see kids digging holes all the time. That's normal. You see like a 30-something-year-old man digging a hole.
And it's not just like...
He's either digging a grave or he's lost his mind.
Well, and that's when you know something's up, because the hole is up to his head.
Yeah.
That's when that's when you know you're not dealing with a functional hole.
And he said something like... what did he say? It was like a mouth. He's like, oh, these are mouths or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. He's not. He's got some problems. Andre 3000 in this, and he's great. I loved Andre 3000 in this.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I want to see more. I want to see him acting more. Something tells me we're going to see more of him.
And I need more of like what he's doing here, which is acting and then also providing the flute.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like, what more do you want? It's perfect.
Yeah, he's great in this. Great cast all around, I would say.
Yeah.
Judd
Hong
Hirsch.
Yeah.
Hong Chow. Yeah, Hong Chow plays the landlord / neighbor / kind of friend, I guess.
Yeah, and she plays it so well because I'm so fucking irritated with her character. It's irritating the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Like, first, you're not giving me the hot water if I'm Michelle Williams. Second, now all of a sudden you're making me take care of this pigeon.
And there's also that kind of rivalry that's there too. It's not really explicitly explored, but it seems like there's probably some jealousy and some, competitiveness that's happening because she's an artist also, and she also has like she also has 2 shows that she's working on. So, what did you think about the art?
Yeah, I like the drawings, like her sketches for her sculptures. I enjoyed those. The sculptures themselves, they're okay. Whatever.
I liked the burnt
character
one.
The what?
The burnt one. The one that got burned. I think that was the best one. Well, she said in the movie that was her best piece, but I also think that it was like, very fitting that it got burned, and that was like her, right? That was like that sculpture was of her.
Like you just, it's okay. You know what I mean? Simple.
Yep.
Such a simple, nice movie. I thought it was a lot funnier than I was kind of expecting it to be. I mean, it wasn't laugh out loud funny, but it's just
there was a dry humor to it.
Just a small moments, smile on your face type thing.
Yeah, the bickering between family members was, it was pretty funny. It was pretty light. And that's what I would say about the whole movie in general. Like it was light. There was conflict for sure. There was some like bitterness in the movie, but nothing that would be like overwhelming or anything like that. It was still a very entertaining, enjoyable watch.
Hell yeah. Yes.
So yeah, Kelly Reichardt once again just crushing it over and over again. I mean, she just every movie, like, just killing it, man.
Yeah, without a doubt. And she's not doing anything like crazy special.
Nope.
I mean, she's doing something special in terms of like simplicity and authenticity, I think.
I think that's the thing is like, I think a lot of other directors, if they were to try something like this, it wouldn't work. I think that she has something special and that she's able to tell these really understated stories and do so in a visually compelling way, and B, she's able to develop these characters in such a way that if they feel like real people, but it's not like boring. It's not too dry or so realistic that like it just comes off as boring is the best way that I would describe it. She's able to kind of thread that needle in a really amazing way. So yeah, she's just, man, every one of her movies just so good.
100% agree.
Now, speaking of which, where does this like stack up if you were to look at Reichardt? Is this like, can you rank this? Can you throw this in a Reichardt rank?
I mean, because I just pulled up her filmography, right? And the only thing I haven't seen is her first one, River of Grass, from 1994. It's the only one I haven't seen. Because I was gonna say this is up there, but then I'm like, damn, First Cow is great.
Mm.
Old Joy was great. Certain Women was great. Meek's Cutoff was a surprise. The only one that I really didn't like from her was Night Moves. I thought that was but I don't know. Yeah, I think I would put this up there.
I liked Night Moves. I mean, I thought that was fine. I think Wendy and Lucy, I don't know.
I'd have to rewatch that one. It's been too long.
Yeah, like that one for whatever reason just really stuck with me. Even though I'm looking on Letterboxd, I only gave it a 3. That one really stuck with me. Meek's Cutoff I gave 4. Certain Women I gave 4.5. First Cow I gave 4. Yeah, so I don't know where this one ranks for me.
It's up there. They're all up there, really. They're good. They're all good. She's really good at what she does.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and give this one a score. What are you going to give Showing Up out of 10?
I would give it like a 8.5.
I am sitting at an 8 on this one. Highly recommend it. This is on VOD right now. Let's go ahead and talk about some of what we've been watching. I believe it is your turn this week, Kevin.
Oh, okay. I watched Self Portrait by Joey Lwalinga on Mubi, Mubi.com, and I realized that there's a lot of movies that came out on Mubi recently, or what I thought was recently, that I've been really waiting to see. So I figured I'd start playing catch up, and they came out a lot longer ago than I thought. So I have a lot of catching up to do. So this is my first one. This is like a pseudo documentary of sorts. This is a cut together of surveillance camera footage collected over the last 4 years, right? So Walinga just goes and pulls together all this surveillance footage from cameras all over the world and just kind of does this like blocking of, it starts them with like winter scenes, spring scenes, summer scenes, autumn, and then a little bit of winter at the end again. So it's kind of like a mixed bag of sorts. But the surprising thing for me here is that like there's a lot of surveillance footage that is just like incredible landscape shots. So you're just like, well, why is there a surveillance camera here? I appreciate it. I'm glad, but it's like, man. And then, of course, you might get that one shot, right? Where there's just like this beautiful, beautiful, like lake front, like down in a valley, mountains flanking the sides. And then the next shot is like a garage parking lot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that mix back and forth. It's short. It's only 66 minutes long. So obviously for me, it didn't wear out its welcome. It started ishing up against that threshold.
Yeah, I think this one sounds like it'd be tough to have it be any major length.
Yeah, you have to be in the right frame of mind for this. Because it's silent. It's surveillance. There's some like ambient noise, but outside of that, there's really nothing going on. So it's like a light recommend for me. If you're into that kind of thing. If that kind of thing, what I just described, you're like, hey man, that sounds interesting.
Well, let me ask you this.
You'll like it.
Are there any scenes that involve clips of Ring doorbell cameras where people are falling on their front porches?
No.
Okay, well then I'm not interested.
Sorry.
So that's Self-Portrait on Mubi. I saw Reality, which is directed by Tina Satter. This is on Max. You can check it out there if you have Max. Not HBO Max. Max. Gotta get in the habit of saying that. So this movie, if you're not familiar, is about a woman. It's about Reality winner who was in 2017. She was charged with espionage and she was convicted. And what this movie is it's a it's a reenactment of the FBI interview with her. So there's no script. This movie is the transcript of the FBI interview. So everything in this movie is word for word an exact depiction of what was said in the FBI interview, which is kind of interesting. Like, I don't think that there's any other movies that do this. I mean, there's movies that incorporate actual quotes from like transcripts and stuff and portions, but the entire movie is a recreation of the interview. So it's kind of an interesting experiment. It doesn't always work, but I was pretty compelled by this. I thought that they did a good job. It's interesting because the transcript is obviously people talking, like four people talking, and there's like dogs barking. So they would have like her dog barking in the background. There are people coughing, people clearing their throat, awkward pauses, like people misspeaking, you know, like there's certain things that we do as we're like, you know, conversing with one another that you don't really like saying ums and ahs and stuff. Like you don't really hear that in movies too much because they clean it up, you know, like which actually had me thinking like you're never just watching a movie and someone coughs and it doesn't represent the fact that they're about to die. You know, like that's the only time you hear somebody coughing in a movie, there's something very wrong with them. They don't just cough like people do in real life or sneeze or clear their throat unless it's for a very specific reason. But yeah, in this movie, it's all in there. I think for better and for worse. I think that some people may find this to be way too dry, because it is literally just an interview between like two FBI agents and this young woman. And but I found it to be pretty fascinating. So I'd give it a light recommend. Reality. Good performance by Sydney Sweeney in here as well.
Okay, interesting. I watched this on Max as well. The new and improved HBO Max now called Max. Fucking annoying as hell. But I watched The Craft, 1996. The Craft.
90s horror classic.
Yeah, I finally checked this out because, you know, been enjoying watching the old Buffy TV show. So I was like, man, this is kind of in line with that. Let's watch The Craft.
Mm-hmm. I had this on VHS, by the way. I mean, I used to have it. I don't think I do anymore. I mean, my dad might still have it.
Well, no one fucking cares what you used to have.
I know.
You know what I mean? Now you have nothing. Because it would be cool if you had The Craft on VHS. That would be cool.
It was recorded from HBO. so it was like The Craft and Blank Man and like one other movie all together on the same tape.
Incredible. I enjoyed the shit out of this movie. It's just out of hand. Like crazy out of hand. And, you know, it's not to say that tired old cliche of the same, but like it's just like you don't see this anymore.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't see these types of movies. I just miss them.
Yep.
Because it's like it's kind of serious. Like it kind of takes itself seriously, but not too much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it knows how to skirt that line.
Yeah.
Being like sincere and genuine, but not being ridiculous. Where you're like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I would say like Ginger Snaps is another movie that I think does a good job of not taking itself too seriously, but also, you know, delivering a somewhat serious story.
And I don't think I was quite ready for like how I didn't realize like how powerful they would become.
Yeah,
which was like pleasant surprise. I was like, oh shit, this is fucking incredible.
Yeah, they do more than just like little tricks.
Yeah, I thought they'd just, you know, be getting in trouble doing some spells and stuff. But, like, they just tap into, like, the fucking god of the earth. So that's something. I wasn't ready for that. And I
Yeah,
enjoyed where that took me.
it's got a
Because
pretty crazy climax.
it does. It really does. And then Fairuza Balk is just, I thought she was incredible in this. She's just
Hamming it
like
up,
that
man.
perfect. Yeah. Oh man. There's something about that too. I just feel like we don't get like hammy performances like that as
Yeah.
much as we used to. Like every horror movie, the villain always got to ham the shit out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much fun.
Yep. I think the Craft is an underrated '90s. I don't know. Maybe it's more well regarded now than it once was. But I still never saw that remake that they did or sequel or whatever the hell it was that came out a
Yeah.
couple years ago.
I forgot all about that. Like when I texted you that I was watching The Craft, and you were like,
yeah.
old one, the original. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? There's only one The Craft.
Yeah, I think it was pretty bad from what I heard, but cool. That's The Craft on Max. Check that out. I saw Private Parts from 1972, directed by Paul Bartel. We had mentioned this one. This came out, a remastered edition of this came out on Blu-ray this past week, and I never heard of this movie before, but I am a fan of Paul Bartel. I liked Death Race 2000 quite a bit. I loved Eating Raoul, so I was interested to see this, and the synopsis made it sound like it was going to be full of L.A. sleaze. And, you know, I prefer New York sleaze, but LA sleaze isn't too bad either. And it's got a lot of that. It's definitely got some LA sleaze to it, where the movie takes place in this really old hotel. And there's all these like strange people living in the hotel. And the movie's about this young woman who she runs away from home to I think they said that her father was like an alcoholic. She runs away from home to LA, and she gets in a fight with her roommate and leaves, and it turns out that her aunt works or owns this old hotel, and so she's staying with her aunt for a little bit. And it turns out that there's like a serial killer in the hotel, and this serial killer slash peeping Tom stalker person kind of develops this like strange obsession with her, and it's great. I definitely recommend checking out. It's a little disturbing here and there, some of the stuff. And it's certainly of its time. This is definitely not a movie that would get made today. I can tell you that right now. But yeah, it's worth a look. Private Parts.
I might have to check this one out. This sounds pretty good.
It's weird. It's not necessarily a horror movie. I guess I would compare it to Paul Bartel's other movies, where it's kind of a comedy, but also very dark. All right, let's look and see what we have in theaters this week. We got The Blackening coming out. I'm actually interested in this one. I don't know if I'm interested enough to see it in theater, but
I'm not. I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't think I'm traveling to the theater to see it.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. It's one that could go either way for me. Like, the trailer made it look pretty funny, but I'm just not sure where that balance is between horror and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks like it does try to balance it. What I'm afraid of is it veering too much towards the comedy side and going like the scary movie route. It doesn't look like that. It looks like it is more like there actually are horror moments in it, but yeah. So I don't know. I'll be checking that out when it hits VOD. We also have Elemental coming out in theaters. That's an animated one.
Mm-hmm.
The Flash is also coming out. That's another biggie. Man, we're back. It seems like we're back in the days where we got like at least a few movies every week coming out.
It is. It's different.
We're slowly getting back to the way we used to be.
I mean, the movies haven't gotten any better.
No.
They're coming out, but
There's more of them.
there's just more.
There's more of them coming out in theaters.
Yes.
Asteroid City next week, though.
Asteroid City.
Can't wait. All right, VOD. Let's see what we got going on here. Starting with the 13th, we got Horseplay. We got Falcon Lake. Americond. Got Cannibal Cabin.
Oh no.
You are what they eat. I feel like I've heard that before. I'm sure that tagline's been used before.
Cannibal Cabin.
We got Bone Cold. Sometimes we make our own demons. Wonder if that's one of those metaphor horror movies about addiction or something.
Probably. Either that. It's either about addiction or it's about trauma.
Yeah.
One or the other.
On June 16th, we have Pretty Red Dress. We got Maggie Moore's. Let's see. Midday Black, Midnight Blue. On Netflix, we have Extraction 2.
Oh no.
That's, the much anticipated sequel to Extraction.
Oh man. There's 3 people that are just hype as fuck right now.
Yeah. Well, the one thing about Extraction, it did have that really amazing single take shot in it. That one scene that is worth checking out. That scene. I don't know about the rest of the movie. Also, we have Black Clover, Sword of the Wizard King, on Netflix.
Black Clover, Sword of the Wizard King?
It's an anime. Yeah, it's like a movie. It's a very popular anime, and I guess this is the new movie.
Okay. All right.
Speaking of anime, I started watching this anime called Angel Cop from 1980. Angel Cop from 1989. Check it out on Tubi. It is bonkers, and it's so great. It's only like, I don't know, 8 episodes, I think, the whole series. So it's very short, but the animation is so good, and it just oozes like that 80s Japanese animation, but the quality is very good, but the content is so over the top and ridiculous. Like, it's so violent for no reason, and it has this like really weird like anti-American like kind of xenophobic rhetoric in it that is just, it's so weird. It's great though. Angel Cop. So that's pretty much it for VOD. Blu-ray this week. Got Super Mario Brothers movie coming out. Rain Man's getting a 4K release. Insidious getting a 4K release. There's a Shaw Brothers box set that's coming out, which includes let's see, The Assassin, The Thundering Sword, The Golden Swallow, The Jade Raksha, The Bells of Death, The Sword of Swords, Killer Darts, The Invincible Fist, Dragon Swamp, The Flying Dagger, and The Golden Sword. So check that out. That's 67 to 69.
Damn.
They had insane output, man. Scream from 1981 is getting a 4K release. Didn't know that was a movie that existed. Looks like Arrow is putting out a Mexico Macabre box set. This includes 4 films ranging from 59 to 63, including Black Pit of Dr. M, The Witch's Mirror, The Brainiac, The Curse of the Crying Woman. That's an Indicator series. I don't know if that's different than Arrow. That might not be Arrow, actually. Indicator series. We have a double pack, Bog and Mako, Jaws of Death.
Oh, no.
And then we have The Great Train Robbery from 1978. Project Alf from 1996. Don't know what that is. Is it an Alf documentary or something? No, it's like just an actual Alf movie.
They made an Alf movie?
I guess so. I don't know. Oh, it looks like it's a TV movie, maybe.
It's on Tubi.
Yeah, it looks like it was a TV movie.
Well, it's on Tubi now.
Yeah, there we
So
go.
just watch it on there. Do it.
There's another Indicator series box set here, which is From Hollywood to Heaven, the lost and saved films of the Orman family. And this includes If Footmen Tire You, What Will Horses Do? Okay.
That's a good question.
The Burning Hell, The Believer's Heaven, 39 Stripes, The Second Coming, Untamed Mistress, Please Don't Touch Me, White Lightning Road, The Girl from Tobacco Row, 40 Acre Feud, The Exotic Ones, The Grim Reaper, The Sacred Symbol, and I think that's it.
Jesus Christ.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
I have not seen a single one of those movies either, so I might have to look into this.
Please don't touch me.
Please don't touch me. White Lightning Road. All right. Let's see. The Sword and the Stone from 1963. That's the Disney one. It looks like some of the classic Disney movies are getting re-released here. Peter Pan is also on that list.
All right.
Witch Trap from 1989 is getting an MVD Rewind collection release, as is Killzone from 1985. There's a Donnie Yen movie coming out called Sakura. A Question of Silence from 1982. The Witch's Mountain from 1973. There's an anime coming out here called My Senpai is Annoying. Love that. That's kind of it. What about Criterion's?
Oh, we got one, and that's Time Bandits from Terry Gilliam. And you know what? Getting the new 4K and everything, still has that cover.
Nice.
I hate that cover so much.
The thing is, it's recognizable. Like you know it. Like you're scrolling and you see there's like hundreds of covers that you're scrolling through, and then bam, there's Time Bandits right there.
And you're just like, yep, that's Time
That's
Bandits.
that classic Time Bandits cover.
I don't want to watch it, but there it is. I have a feeling that that's what everyone says when they see that cover. They're just like, oh yeah, Time Bandits. No. And then they just scroll past it.
All right, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @filmpulse.net and @filmpulsekevin. If you have a minute, consider reviewing us on iTunes. That'd be great. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson, and we'll see you next week.